Hey, Evan here from Praxi Consulting. I am the founder of Praxi Consulting, and this whole YouTube thing is quite new. But my goal with this YouTube channel is to simply help you understand OnlyFans as a whole and help you go from where you are currently to where you want to be. So whether this be 10K a month, 50K a month, or even, just give you a bit of helpful advice, some strategies, and some other systems that you can use to boost your revenue as a model or an agency as well. Now, in this particular video, we'll be going over our bulletproof pricing strategy here at Praxi. So you'll learn how to build a pricing strategy that significantly increases your revenue without driving fans away. This is using tested tactics around subscriptions, bundles, PPV tips, as well as psychological pricing frameworks. Now, let's just dive into it and get going. Now, the psychology of pricing on OnlyFans. Learning how to create perceived value is one of the greatest things you can learn when it comes to your OF, right? And this is really important. Please take note. And creating perceived value is great when it comes to your OF, because you can be a creator who just started your journey but have A-tier content. And when I mean A-tier content would be a lot of those TikTok videos, stuff like Sophie Rain's. These videos are enticing, okay? People want to watch it. Now, with A-tier content system behind it all, it can look like you exactly know what you're doing. So if you put A-tier content plus an A-tier system together, it can look insanely good. Now, if you already have an A-tier system on OF, but your content game, for example, is C-tier, right? So that means really, really bad. Your perceived value would be lower, and that's quite obvious, obviously. So these fans or viewers would not be funneled to your OF because of your C-tier content, right? Now, how can you create an overall A-tier system that produces maximum results? Well, obviously you'll have to have a A-tier content system as well as an A-tier, content. You'll need a A-tier, system behind your OF, right? Chatters, someone who manages your socials, etc., right? So, well, it's all in the content. And if you have great content, viewers can easily be turned into fans, just as I said. But your content needs to be on point. Now, you might ask, how does this link with a pricing strategy? Well, I'll explain this all in just a bit, right? Now, subscription pricing tiers that convert. This is one of the first things we'll be going over, or actually the second. Now, there are 3 subscription tiers, and we'll break it down real quick. You have entry level, which is your free, and it's great for attracting low lifetime value fans, which means they won't stay long and they probably won't be purchasing or tipping a lot, right? And this is great for creators who are just starting out and actually just want to get their foot in the door, bring in a lot of fans and likes. And usually people, they start with a free OF and then move to a paid. But that's quite difficult because a lot of people will then be comfortable with being free, and that's not what we want, right? Now, second is mid-tier, and this is like $4 to $6. Now, this is a mid-tier subscription price, and it's well balanced. It creates great LTV fans, and these fans stay for quite some time, right? And they, have regular purchasing habits, and they're quite active. And this keeps the engagement high with the profits doing well, after OnlyFans takes their profit as well. Mid-tier pricing is really good for when you went from free to paid, because it's a low barrier to entry, and people don't want to spend a lot because they just they were on your OnlyFans for, let's say, 6 months while you were building your fan base, and now they have to pay $4. There's gonna be downfall, and people are not gonna pay that unless it's top quality, or rather, let me say, not a lot of people that went from your free to your paid. So premium is your $10 to your $15, right? And technically, I would say this is a premium price. I think I've seen creators price their, OnlyFans at $35 a month, which is absolutely insane. And I'm guessing that these creators don't, actually sell a lot, because the fans are already paying quite a lot to just get into, OnlyFans. Now, the premium subscription price is a double-edged sword, and this depends, right? It depends on how big of a creator you are. Now, pricing your page this high will lead to less fans joining your page, but that's the other edge of the sword. Those who do will tip and purchase a lot of content. Now, the psychology behind this is they already spent a lot of money on you, and they would do it again and again and again. Having a price this high is not bad, but can definitely have its cons. And when I say cons, it's you're not gonna have as much fans as you'd want to have, right? You'll probably have, depending on who you are and how big of a fan base on your socials you have, but not a lot of people will pay this price just to go and see your content. Now, how do you test which strategy works best for you? Entry level, mid-tier, or your premium price? Well, if you already have a decent size following, it's easier to test, right? So depending on the size of your following, you can charge a premium price and let that be the price for 2 weeks. So you just let that price marinate and just start promoting. And if after 2 weeks you can see that the conversion rates are bad, not a lot of people are joining, people are complaining, people want, they're messaging you, please change it back, then okay, cool, change it back to, or test something else, right? Maybe test a mid-tier price, or even a bit lower. You can even go $2, okay? So this is just how you test which pricing strategy actually works best for you and your audience, right? Now, second or thirdly on the list is why 3, 6, and 12-month bundles actually increase retention and client lifetime value. Offering a 3, 6, and 12-month subscription bundle on OF significantly increases retention and your customer lifetime value, just as I said, because it locks fans into longer commitments upfront. So they're really committed. So let's say you charge $100 for 12 months, right? And this is obviously at a discount rate. Now, that's upfront done, right? OnlyFans takes it's 20%, you're left with 80, okay? So this, 3, 6, and 12-month bundles are really, really good to actually, nurture these fans into buying more. So, as I said, it locks fans into longer commitments up front, and this taps into the sunken cost fallacy. Once someone pays for multiple months, you can see, they're psychologically more invested and less likely to cancel, even if their interest fades. And this is a true fact. You can go and look that up, right? It also makes your income more predictable for you as the creator. To amplify this, you can combine bundle offers with flash sales. So let's say you do 12 months for $100 for, let's say, 30% off. That's insane. Here's another example, 20% off for 24 hours, right? On your bundles, on all your bundles. So, however, creators must test discount percentages, just like we just tested, your pricing strategy. And this needs to be done really carefully. Offering too steep of a discount can inflate short-term revenue, but hurt average revenue per user. So, average revenue per creator means average creator per user. Now, this is how much each fan is spending on average in a certain amount of time. And a smart approach is to A/B test, just as I said, the 10 versus 25 versus 30, maybe even versus 40. I wouldn't go there, but test and track how they impact both total revenue and ARPU over a 30 to 60 day period. I hope this actually makes some sense to you and that you are taking some notes. Now, PPV, content structure that actually sells, right? It's another strategy we use. So when I personally structure PPV pricing for my clients, I use a 3-tier model that consists drives sales and increases perceived value. It starts with teasers. Teasers are great because it gets the fans going. It helps with engagement, and if you're really good at teasers, you'll actually use what we will call an initial message. So an initial message is just like, hey, how's your day been? Or, just creating a bit of excitement between you and the actual, fan. So it starts with teasers, priced between $5 to $10, right? You just get them a bit warmed up. Now, these are short, enticing previews that warm up fans, as I just said, and get them into the buying mindset. So usually we follow a sexting script that will, maybe start off with, the model in some clothes in bed and she's slowly taking them off. Now, let's get back into it. That warms up fans and gets them into the buying mindset without requiring a big commitment. Because like something like $5, I would even maybe like $5 to $10 is actually perfect. It doesn't require a lot of commitment. When you think about buying a car, it's a lot of money, right? You think about it a lot. But when you buy a chocolate at the store, that won't cross your mind as buying a car would, right? So after that, then comes the premium full-length content. So obviously we have build up, right? From taking your clothes off, to start, etc., etc. It builds up, right? Now, then we will start actually getting into good and better content, priced between $15 and $50. Now, this is the core offer. It's high quality content that actually drives real value and keeps fans coming back. Now, usually customs and super niche content can go anywhere from $50 to $250, but I would actually go more, after you just entice a bit, tease a bit, it gets going. I would just do that for a while and then, maybe share, hey, can I share you this super cool custom content I made for you, just for you. This makes the fans feel, valued, and that's what they want. Now, these are personalized or ultra specific pieces that feel exclusive and justify the higher price point, right? You can't go and charge $250 for, a simple photo or, a stupid video. It has to be super specific, maybe even to that fan, right? Because that's what an custom is. Now, what makes the structure work is the way each tier unlocks a deeper level of access. So that's what I just said. You go from A to B to C to D. You don't go from A to Z, right? You don't. And it's exclusive. It's not just about selling the content, it's about creating a ladder of value where each purchase naturally leads to curiosity about what's next. So, when you get them in that mood, right, they want to hear more. And in teasing, this is the best thing to do, especially when they get into that mood. When fans see that there's always a more premium level available, it drives urgency and FOMO, fear of missing out, right? Especially when that next tier is only accessible through tips, replies, or specific unlock action. A specific unlock action could be like 10 of our photos and, share it to one person, or whatever. And that can, unlock a new tier to them, a new video, or, maybe you can, even as a model, have a leaderboard on your tips, right? Or, how much each client spends or fan spends. That can go into a leaderboard and you can post that, right? And, these people want to be the best, right? Now, that's how I help my clients turn casual buyers into high ticket fans without overwhelming them or leaving money on the table. Now, keep in mind everything that I just, like all the data I gave you, like, you know, pricing teasers, this and that. These are just example prices, and it depends on the size of the model, right? So if you have 50 million followers on Instagram, 20 million on Twitter or X, whatever, and let's say another 3-4 million on TikTok, right? You'll charge way higher prices for each, right? Because you won't charge $2 for PPV. That's not going to work, right? So this is the end of the video, but if you have found any of this just a little bit valuable, then I will leave a link in the description to, you know, go to our link tree and hit us up on Instagram. Our website will be up soon, and you can contact us through there soon, as I just said. But in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful day. If you want to see more, leave it in the comments below. And yeah, thank you for watching.